Have you ever set your alarm for 5 a.m. with big plans, only to hit snooze and wake up at 8, feeling guilty? Maybe you've read that successful people wake up early. Maybe you've tried it yourself, once, twice, maybe 10 times, but you always go back to old habits. You tell yourself, I'm just not a morning person. I need my sleep. But what if I told you that the first hour of your day holds the power to change your entire life? What if one man's story could prove that your destiny is decided before the sun rises? This is the story of a man who had nothing until 5 a.m. became his secret weapon. Stay with me until the end, because this might be the wake-up call you've been waiting for. In a small industrial town where factories hummed day and night, there lived a 32-year-old man named Thomas. Thomas worked as a night security guard at a textile warehouse. Every evening at 8 p.m. he arrived at the gate. Every morning at 6 a.m., exhausted and drained, he went home to sleep. His salary was barely enough. He lived in a tiny one-room apartment with a broken fan, a mattress on the floor, and a single light bulb that flickered when the power was low. His clothes were old. His shoes had holes. But more than physical poverty, Thomas suffered from something deeper. He felt trapped. Every morning, as he walked home past the sleeping town, he saw other people's lives through their windows. Families having breakfast together, children preparing for school, men in clean shirts heading to office jobs. And Thomas would think, will this be my life forever? Walking home while everyone else is waking up to their dreams. He had tried to change. He applied for better jobs, but with only a high school education, every door closed. He wanted to learn new skills, but after working all night, he was too tired to do anything except sleep. His mother, who lived in the countryside, would call him once a week. Thomas, my son, when will your life get better? I'm getting old. I want to see you succeed before I die. Thomas would force cheerfulness into his voice. Soon, Mama. Soon. I'm working on it. But he wasn't, because he didn't know how. The truth that haunted him most was this. He wasn't lazy. He worked hard every night, walking miles, staying alert, doing his duty. But hard work alone wasn't changing anything. He was working hard in a life that was going nowhere. And every morning, as he collapsed into bed around 7 a.m., sleeping until 4 p.m., he felt like he was living backwards. The world moved forward while he slept through it. One thought kept returning, like a whisper he couldn't ignore. There has to be another way. But what? One cold Tuesday morning in November, Thomas's phone rang just as he was leaving work. It was his sister. Thomas, you need to come home. Mama collapsed. She's in the hospital. His heart stopped. He took the first bus to his village, a 3-hour journey that felt like forever. When he arrived at the small rural clinic, his mother was in bed, weak but conscious. The doctor said she had fainted from exhaustion and stress. She needed rest, better food, and medicine they couldn't afford. His mother held his hand, her voice barely a whisper. Thomas, I don't have much time left. Please, my son, don't waste your life like I wasted mine. Find a way. Promise me. Thomas sat beside her bed long after she fell asleep. He looked at her wrinkled hands, hands that had worked in fields for decades, just like he worked through nights, both of them struggling but going nowhere. Something inside him cracked, not with sadness, with rage at his own helplessness. He stepped outside the clinic into the pre-dawn darkness. It was 5 a.m. The village was still asleep, but a few farmers were already walking to their fields. Birds were beginning to sing. The air was cool and fresh. And in that moment, standing in the quiet dawn, Thomas made a decision. "No more," he whispered. "I won't live like this anymore. I don't care what it takes. I will find a way." On the bus ride back to town, he noticed something. Sitting across from him was a man in his 50s, well-dressed, reading a book, peaceful. Thomas recognized him. Mr. Chen, a successful businessman who owned several shops in town. What shocked Thomas was the time, 6 a.m. A successful man traveling on a regular bus at dawn. Thomas gathered his courage. "Excuse me, sir. Why are you on this early bus?" Mr. Chen looked up and smiled. "Because I wake at 4:30 every morning. I use this time to read, think, and plan my day before the world wakes up." "But don't you need sleep?" "I sleep at 9 p.m., 7.5 hours. "Enough." Mr. Chen studied Thomas's tired face. "You work nights?" "Yes, security guard." "And when do you sleep?" 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. usually. Mr. Chen nodded slowly. "So you're awake when the world sleeps, and asleep when the world works. No wonder you're stuck." He leaned forward. "Young man, let me tell you a secret that changed my life 30 years ago. The hours between 5 a.m. and 7 a.m., those are magic hours. That's when you can build the life you want while everyone else is still dreaming." Thomas felt something stir, a dangerous thing called hope. "But how? I work until 6 a.m. I need sleep." "Then change your sleep. Sleep when you get home at 6:30. Wake up at 11:30. That's 5 hours, enough to survive. Then live your real life when the world is awake. And if you can shift to day work eventually, wake at 5 a.m. Always. That's the secret." Mr. Chen wrote his phone number on a card. "If you're serious about changing your life, call me. I'll show you what to do with those morning hours. But only if you're serious, because it requires discipline most people don't have." The bus reached Thomas's stop. He looked at the card in his hand and made a promise to himself. "I'll do it. Starting tomorrow." That evening, Thomas did something he had never done in his life. He called Mr. Chen the next day at 11 a.m. For the first time in years, Thomas was awake during daylight on a weekday. He met Mr. Chen at a small cafe. Mr. Chen looked at him with approval. "You actually changed your sleep schedule. Good. Most people talk. You acted. Now I'll teach you what to do with your mornings." He took out a notebook and drew a simple diagram. "Thomas, imagine your life is a house. Right now your house is dark, cold, and falling apart. Why? Because you never work on the foundation. You're too busy surviving." He drew a simple house. The hours from 5 to 7 a.m. That's your foundation building time. While everyone else is asleep or just waking up, you're constructing the future. 2 hours every morning. That's 14 hours per week, 60 hours per month, 730 hours per year. He wrote the numbers clearly. That's the equivalent of 91 full workdays, just from waking up early. In 1 year, you get 3 extra months that everyone else wastes sleeping. Thomas's eyes widened. 3 months. Here's what you do with those 2 hours. Mr. Chen continued. This is not negotiable. This is the system. Hour 1, 5 to 6 a.m. Build skills. You spend this hour learning something that will change your economic situation. Not watching TV, not scrolling your phone. Learning a skill, a language, a trade. Online courses are free now. YouTube has everything. You have no excuse. Hour 2, 6 to 7 a.m. Build body and mind. 30 minutes. Exercise. Walk, run, stretch. Your body is your vehicle. If it breaks down, you have nothing. 30 minutes. Read, plan your day, or apply what you learned in hour 1. Thomas wrote frantically in a borrowed notebook. Mr. Chen added 3 rules. Rule 1, no negotiation. You wake at 5 a.m. every single day, including weekends. No, just today I'll skip. That's how you fail. Rule 2, sleep by 9 p.m. You can't cheat sleep and succeed. Your body needs rest, but you control when you rest. Rule 3, the first week will be hell. Your body will hate you. Your mind will create excuses. Push through. After 21 days, it becomes normal. After 90 days, it becomes who you are. Mr. Chen looked at Thomas seriously. I'm giving you 3 months. 3 months of waking at 5 a.m., building skills in hour 1, building yourself in hour 2. After 3 months, come back to me. Show me what you've built. If you've actually done the work, I'll help you find a better job. If you quit, don't bother calling. Success goes to people who show up when it's hard. Thomas felt the weight of the challenge, but also, for the first time in years, he felt something else. Purpose. I'll do it, he said. I won't quit. We'll see, Mr. Chen said with a knowing smile. Everyone says that. The next morning, Thomas's alarm screamed at 5 a.m. His entire body protested. His mind whispered, just 1 more hour. You're so tired. But he remembered his mother's face in the hospital. Mr. Chen's challenge, his own promise. He threw off the blanket and stood up. The first week was agony. Thomas dragged himself awake each morning, his body aching from lack of sleep. At 5 a.m., while it was still dark, he sat at his small table with his phone, watching free Excel tutorials on YouTube. His eyes burned, his mind wandered, but he didn't stop. At 6 a.m., he forced himself to walk around his neighborhood for 30 minutes. Then he read articles about accounting, a skill he had chosen to learn because every business needed it. By 7:30 a.m., he went to bed, slept until 2 p.m., prepared for his night shift at 3 p.m. The cycle repeated. It was exhausting. It was lonely. Nobody understood why he was doing this. But something changed around day 20. One morning, Thomas woke up at 4:58 a.m., 2 minutes before his alarm. His body had adapted, and for the first time, he didn't feel resentment. He felt ready. The Excel tutorial started making sense. He was learning formulas, data analysis, and basic accounting principles. He completed his first online certificate. His morning walks became something he looked forward to. The sunrise, the quiet streets, the feeling that while everyone else was sleeping, he was building. By the end of month 2, Thomas had completed 3 online courses in accounting and Excel. He had lost weight from daily walking. His mind felt sharper. His confidence grew. People at work noticed. Thomas, you look different, healthier. What changed? He smiled. I'm changing my life, 2 hours at a time. In the 3rd month, Thomas applied what he learned. He created a simple Excel spreadsheet to organize the warehouse inventory, something his company had never done properly. He showed it to his supervisor. The supervisor was impressed. Thomas, how did you learn this? I wake up at 5 a.m. and teach myself. Word reached the warehouse manager, then the owner. On day 87 of Thomas's 5 a.m. journey, his supervisor called him into the office. Thomas, we're expanding our accounting department. We need someone who understands our warehouse operations and has basic bookkeeping skills. The job is yours if you want it. Day shift, double your current salary. Thomas stood there speechless. 3 months ago, he was a hopeless night guard. Now he was being offered an office job. When do I start? He managed to say. Next Monday. That evening, Thomas called Mr. Chen. Mr. Chen, I did it. 90 days, I never missed a single 5 a.m. wake up. And today, I got promoted. There was a pause. Then Mr. Chen's voice, proud and warm. I knew you would. You had the look of someone ready to change. Now remember, don't stop waking at 5. That's not a strategy. That's your life now. I won't stop. This is who I am now. 1 year later, Thomas had become the company's lead accountant. He had saved enough money to move his mother to town, get her proper medical care, and rent a decent 2-bedroom apartment. Every morning at 5 a.m., he still woke up. Not because he had to, but because those 2 hours were sacred. That's when he learned new software, read business books, and planned his future. His co-workers would ask, Thomas, why do you wake up so early? You've already succeeded. He would smile and say, success is not a destination. It's a daily practice, and mine begins at 5 a.m. My friend, Thomas's story is proof of something powerful. Your life can change. Not someday. Not when circumstances improve. Right now, starting tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. Here's what most people don't understand. The difference between where you are and where you want to be is not talent. It's not luck. It's not even hard work. It's how you use the time when everyone else is sleeping. Between 5 a.m. and 7 a.m., the world is quiet. No notifications, no meetings, no distractions. Your willpower is at its peak. Your mind is fresh. This is when you do the work that changes your trajectory. Successful people know this. That's why CEOs, athletes, and leaders wake up early. Not because they're superhuman, because they understand that winning the morning means winning the day. So here's your challenge. The same challenge Mr. Chen gave Thomas. Step 1. Tonight, set your alarm for 5 a.m. Not 5:15, not 5:30, exactly 5 a.m. And put your phone across the room so you have to stand up to turn it off. Step 2. Decide what you'll build in your first hour. A skill you need? A business idea? A certification course? Choose one thing, just one, and commit to it for 90 days. Step 3. Protect your 9 p.m. bedtime. You can't wake up early if you sleep late. Cut the Netflix. Skip the endless scrolling. Sleep is not your enemy. Wasted evenings are. I promise you this. If you wake up at 5 a.m. every single day for 90 days and use those 2 hours intentionally, your life will not look the same. Maybe you won't become a millionaire. Maybe you won't get promoted immediately, but you will become someone different, stronger, more disciplined, more capable. And that person can achieve anything. Thomas had nothing, no degree, no connections, no money, just a choice to wake up early and build. You have more than he had. You're watching this video, which means you have internet, education, and opportunity. The only question is, will you use it? Or will you hit snooze tomorrow and wonder 5 years from now why nothing changed? If you're ready to join the 5 a.m. club, hit that like button right now as your commitment. Then drop a comment telling me, what will you build in your first hour tomorrow? Let's hold each other accountable. I'll be checking the comments. Share this video with someone who says they want to change, but never does. Maybe this is the push they need. And subscribe to this channel, because every week I bring you stories of people who transformed their lives and the exact strategies they used. Remember Thomas's words, success is not a destination. It's a daily practice. And that practice begins tomorrow. At 5 a.m., will you be awake? Your future self is waiting on the other side of that alarm clock. Don't make them wait another day.